They believe everything now, okay?
Well.
Okay, so I start off by saying my grandmother lived to be 103.
Wow.
On my mother's side.
Lionel Richie's honeyed tones have festooned the radio frequencies of millions of soul and R&B radio stations around the globe. A Grammy Award-winning recipient, Richie is considered one of the most successful singer-songwriters of the 20th century, with most of his songs peaking on necessary music charts. After a long and successful spell with the Commodores, he began writing and producing country hits and ended up becoming one of the most famous artists of his time. This singer-songwriter, record producer, and actor has sold nearly 100 million records. Apart from his career in the music industry, he has also appeared in films such as Pariah and the documentary series Who Do You Think You Are?
And 98 on my father's side, so I'm just banking on genes.
Yeah, sure.
And the other part of it is I have no idea how I got here. This song.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Net Worth Now, where you get to see the lifestyle and net worth of your favorite celebrities. We hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, please remember to hit the like button and comment below who your favorite celebrity is so we can feature them in an upcoming video.
His full name is Lionel Brockman Richie Jr., also known as Skeet. He was born on June 20th, 1949, in Tuskegee, Alabama, United States, making him 72 years old at the time of this production. He stands at 180 centimeters or 5 feet 11 inches tall. He is an active gardener and well-versed in plants and flowers, and goes to his garden when he needs a quiet place to reflect. His favorite flower in my garden is the bougainvillea. He loves interior designs and even admitted he would have been a landscape architect or interior designer if it wasn't for his singing. He even spends most of his time in art galleries. Another interesting fact about him is that Lionel Messi, a famous soccer player, was named after him. Richie helped raise over $3.1 million for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. He was the featured performer at the foundation's Soiree Banquet, the annual spring gala, in 2003. Richie told the crowd that his grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer in her 80s, but survived and lived until she was 103 years old. He stated that she was his enduring symbol of hope and his reason for becoming a breast cancer activist. On October 18, 1975, Richie married his college sweetheart, Brenda Harvey. In 1983, the couple informally adopted Nicole Camille Escovedo, the 2-year-old daughter of Lionel's band, who was also the niece of drummer Sheila E. The Richies raised Nicole as their own daughter and adopted her legally when she was 9 years old. In June 1988, Harvey was arrested and charged with corporal injury to a spouse, resisting arrest, trespassing, vandalism, battery, and disturbing the peace after finding Richie and Diane Alexander's Beverly Hills apartment. Richie and Harvey divorced on August 9, 1993, after nearly 18 years of marriage. Richie married Diane Alexander on December 21, 1995. They have a son, Miles Brockman, and a daughter, Sophie Richie. The marriage ended in 2004. Richie became a grandfather in 2008 when Nicole Richie gave birth to a baby girl for Good Charlotte's Joel Madden. Richie's second grandchild was born to the couple in 2009.
I am going to go find a nice corner of the world, turn the light off, and just sit quietly.
Really?
And let it pass, and then I'll...
Lionel Brockman Richie Jr. was born to Albert R. and Lionel Brockman Richie in Tuskegee, Alabama. He studied at Juliet Township High School and was an outstanding tennis player during school. He got offered a tennis scholarship to look at the Tuskegee Institute, which he accepted. He majored in economics and graduated from the university. When he was a student at the university, he was interested in a number of upcoming R&B groups in the 1960s. Post completing his graduation degree, he attended Auburn University for a brief period of time. In 1968, Richie signed on as a singer and saxophonist with the Commodores. The same year, he signed a record contract with Atlantic Records for one record and then moved on to Motown Records. In 1974, the band Commodores released their debut studio album, Machine Gun, an album of funk music. 3 years later, they released the self-titled album, Commodores, which became extremely popular and listed as one of their top 5 albums to date. He sang the theme song for the film Endless Love, along with Diana Ross in 1981. The song became a massive hit in the UK, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. It is also considered one of Motown Records' greatest hits. He began his solo career in 1982 with a self-titled album. One of the singles from the album, Truly, peaked at the #1 position on the music charts in the US. He released his next solo venture, Can't Slow Down, in 1983, under the label of Motown Records. The album sold twice as much as his first album and won a couple of Grammy Awards. The following year, Lionel Richie performed All Night Long, one of his most fantastic singles, at the closing ceremony of the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Through 1984, he had a string of hit singles including Stuck on You, Running with the Night, Penny Lover, and Hello. The following year, he wrote and performed a song titled Say You, Say Me for the film White Nights, which he won an Academy Award. In 1985, he collaborated with superstar Michael Jackson for the single charity hit We Are the World. The next year, he released one of his most successful albums yet, Dancing on the Ceiling, which produced a range of hits including Ballerina Girl, Selah, and Dancing on the Ceiling. He went on a hiatus for a few years only to return with his greatest hits collection, Back to Front, in 1992. 4 years later, he released his 4th studio album, Louder Than Words, which had disappointing sales. Time, his 5th studio album, released in 1998, also failed to make it big and had meager sales compared to his previous ventures. From 2002 to 2005, Richie's song Running with the Night was featured on the video game Grand Theft Auto: Vice City. During this time, he was also seen in the British series Top Gear and on CMT Crossroads episode. In 2006, he performed at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival and released his studio album, Coming Home. The album went on to become one of the biggest hits of the decade. The same year, he hosted and performed the series An Audience with Lionel Richie. From 2007 to 2009, he performed on Australian Idol, performed at the Times Square for New Year's Eve celebration, and also went on to release the album Just Go. In 2009, he performed at Michael Jackson's memorial service. In 2010, he performed at the National Memorial Day concert in Washington, D.C., and he also performed at the AFL Grand Finale Replay. 2 years later, he released his 10th studio album, Tuskegee, which also features the hit singles of other recording artists. In 2013, he announced that he would launch the All the Nights, All Night Long tour on The Today Show on NBC.
I think they're just working very hard now on trying to make me nervous for the rest of my life. But I have a new thing for them now. I'm going to try to embarrass them.
His estimated annual salary is around $10 million. As of 2021, he is estimated to be worth $200 million. He currently lives in his 28-room mansion in Beverly Hills. In his garage, you can find a Ferrari Scialti, a Mercedes S550, a Range Rover i322, a Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano, a Mercedes-Benz CL65, and a Cadillac XLR.